Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for 6 things that we learned from Crystal Palace 1, Chelsea 4. It is a phenomenal away victory in the Premier League. Before we get into the boxes today, I think you know there's going to be a blue and a couple of greens. I would love to ask you to subscribe to the George Benson Football Channel. It is a very busy end to the season. We've got Champions League quarterfinals, second legs, FA Cup semi-finals, big matches in the Premier League race for the top 4. And if you are not yet subscribed here to GBFC, then you will certainly be missing out. And whilst you're at it, I'm going to set the like target for today's video to 10,000 likes. I believe you guys can do it. Let me just see if I can adjust this camera. He's gone a bit wonky Dave over here to get you in position. So if we can hit 12,000 likes, that would be wonderful. And also go subscribe to GBFC 2. The link is in the description below. Chelsea were absolutely phenomenal in the first half. It was, without question, the best half of football that we have played this season. We didn't give Crystal Palace any time to even get close to the ball, let alone get the ball. We had about 80% possession for the majority of the first half. And the way that we actually used that possession was everything that we've been crying out for. One-touch passing, Jorginho, Kovacic dictating the tempo, if I can say his name correctly, Kovacic, dictating the tempo incredibly well. Callum Hudson-Odoi offering brilliant natural width and having the confidence to take players on. Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, Pulisic, all running the Crystal Palace defenders ragged. They had no idea where to turn, where to look. And some of the finishes were absolutely incredible. And I think if I have to be hypercritical of the first half, we should have gone in 6-0 up. And nobody would have been able to sit there analysing the game saying, Chelsea have not outperformed their XG here. They don't quite deserve... Shut up. We were brilliant. 3-0 to the mighty boys in blue from West London, taking the 3 points away from Selhurst Park. And we will begin with a blue box for a man who once again, Benson, goes into the Instagram comments of Christian Pulisic, sees him in the starting lineup, goes and whacks a comment on the Chelsea IG saying, Pulisic's going to bag a brace today. You never guess what he went and did, boys and girls. Captain America stormed Selhurst Park, burning the stadium to the ground, and he scored 2 goals. He was absolutely fantastic out there tonight. I think his energy was good, and it's not as if I've ever doubted the ability that Christian Pulisic has. Some people say and said to me in my preview that you didn't pick him again, you've got something against Pulisic. I just listened to the words that Tuchel said and he called Pulisic an impact player. So I just assumed that he intended to bring Pulisic off to have an impact from the bench, because that's a word that we often hear when it comes to footballers being described. But Pulisic starts from the beginning and his energy was fantastic. The finish for the first goal reminded me of a similar goal he scored against Palace last season. It was brilliant with his left foot, just blasting it past the goalkeeper, who, by the way, credit to the Palace goalkeeper, he stopped it from being double figures today. He had a great game. But Christian Pulisic, I think all of his industrious work today in the final third was brilliant. The second goal as well, ghosting into the box at the last second to get the final touch, to put the ball beyond Gaita, because I'm not going to lie, when the score was at 3-1, I was a little bit worried, you know, after what we did last week against West Brom, where we capitulated at times, our concentration was not there in the slightest. My biggest qualm with what Chelsea did for the first 25 minutes of the second half was that we seemed to have thought the game was won already, which it was, but we didn't go anywhere near the intensity we saw in the first half. We stopped the one-touch passing, the fluidity, and I think when Kante came on, it did actually kind of change things. Don't want to slate Kante too much, but he had a pretty woeful opening 5 minutes when he first came on. But overall, Christian Pulisic back in the team, Christian Pulisic back with the goals. He gets the momentum and he'll get that confidence now. Whether he starts against Porto or not, I think he's definitely starting the next Premier League game without fail. We move into box number 2. And it was a maestro performance today from Mateo Kovacic. I know you might be thinking, Benson, how on earth have you not said Havertz? Where's Havertz? Give me Havertz. I'll get to him soon. Kovacic. I'm sorry, but I love Mateo Kovacic. You guys know this here on GBFC. And when I watched him today, the confidence that this man is currently playing with. We saw in an interview this week, he said he likes to take parts of Jorginho's game, likes to learn parts of Kante's game. The passing today from Kovacic was Cesc Fabregas-esque. It was brilliant. I absolutely love the way that he was always looking for that diagonal ball towards Callum Hudson-Odoi on the right-hand side, Reece James when he came on. Kovacic today I thought was absolutely brilliant, carrying the ball with his dribbles. The one-touch combination play with Jorginho, who Jorginho could have had a green box, but because he came off with half an hour still to go, I just want to give him an honourable mention here, because in terms of dictating the tempo of the play for Chelsea, alongside Kovacic in the middle, they were flawless in that first half. There were maybe a couple of misplaced passes, but all of the right ideas. Chelsea dictated absolutely everything out there today. And I also want to give an honourable mention to Callum Hudson-Odoi. I thought in the first half, he was arguably one of our best players, creating so many opportunities, getting crosses into the box. I've not given him a green, and I know that might frustrate some people, but realistically, there were so many players who could have had green boxes today. The reason I didn't give Callum a green is because I felt like he took his foot off the gas again in the second half, which I think he was the one who was really putting his foot on the gas in that first half, and he was really controlling things for Chelsea, getting into good positions, creating chances, got the assist as well for Havertz's goal, I believe, and I wanted to see him do that again. So good from Hudson-Odoi, but it could have been better. But we move into box number 3, and I'm absolutely delighted for this man, Kai Havertz, the man who I said on Wednesday night didn't have a very good game against Porto. Stand by those comments, but today is a different story. He was absolutely brilliant out there. From minute number 1, he looked confident. He's trying to get that ball on his left foot to cut in. He bends the ball past Gaeta for the first goal. Gets the assist for Pulisic for the second goal. He starts absolutely on fire. Between him and Pulisic, Selhurst Park is in the ground after tonight. Chelsea were brilliant. I thought Havertz was excellent. I think he definitely could have had a hat-trick out there if it wasn't for a couple of very good saves from the Crystal Palace goalkeeper, and then some pretty poor finishing in the second half from him, particularly the one when the score's 4-1 and he's in on goal and he hits a tame shot straight into Gaeta's hands. It could have made it 5, but progress is massive progress for Kai Havertz. I thought tonight he really put on a show. He looked very silky when he was on the ball. He was gliding past players. He was making smart movements to make himself available for Chilwell, for Reece James, Hudson-Odoi on the wings. And he also dropped deep to receive the ball as well. So it was very difficult for Palace to know who to mark, because 1 minute Havertz was dropping deep. The next minute Mount was dropping deep. Then Pulisic was dropping deeper. Very difficult to defend against. And I think Kai Havertz was absolutely excellent. We move into box number 4, and it's for Kurt Zouma. It's another green. He scores his 5th Premier League goal of the season. It's an incredible statistic for a centre-back, and I think he's now Chelsea's 2nd top scorer in the Premier League this season, which is absolutely astonishing considering he's been out of the team for the past few weeks. Goodness knows how Chelsea have Kurt Zouma as their 2nd top scorer and are in a Champions League semi-final, an FA Cup Champions League quarter-final, my apologies, FA Cup semi-final and a top 4 race in the Premier League. It's absolutely astonishing. But Zouma, brilliant header again. It was a brick wall at the back today for Chelsea. I want to focus more on the attacking play because we've not had a lot of goals to shout about in the last few months, but we did today. But Kurt Zouma gets another one of them. He scored the 3rd. Brilliant crossing from Mason Mount, who is box number 5. Mason again, he was just absolutely brilliant. I'm running out of things good to say about Mason Mount, and not because there's nothing good to say. Let me tilt the camera up again because it keeps dipping out. Not because there's nothing good to say, there's plenty of too many good things to say. Mason flipping Mount, he's on a different level to any Premier League player out there at the moment. I think he's that good. And I think today, once again, his pressing was excellent. When Chelsea didn't have the ball, Mason Mount was always instigating, retrieving it back. When he had possession, he was trying to get forward, driving with the ball, trying to make incisive passes. The delivery for Kurt Zouma, A1, exquisite from Mason Mount. It was a brilliant performance from him. Overall today for Chelsea, before we finish with box number 6, I think this is the kind of performance that we needed with the goals that we scored. We hadn't scored more than 2 under Thomas Tuchel before this game, which has been fine because we've not been conceding many goals. And even though we did concede one today, it was Kante kind of lost his man and he didn't really chase after him, and then Ben Chilwell beaten in the air by Christian Benteke. It's not really a big surprise. Benteke gets one sniff in the air, he scores a goal. But overall, It was absolutely brilliant from Chelsea, and 4-1 is bellissimo. And we finish off with box number 6, and it's got to be another green box, and I want to just focus on a moment on momentum. When we were beaten by West Brom just a week ago, I was sat here beyond embarrassed, deflated, humiliated by the result, but once I sat back and really took it in, I just worried that the momentum hit that result could have had after all of the positivity that we built could have capitulated this week. But Chelsea fans, we are sat here right now on the George Benson Football Channel, about 11 minutes into this video, after Chelsea have won a quarter-final, first leg away from home, beating Porto 2-0. We go and put on the best half performance of the season in the first half against Palace and come away from Selhurst Park with 3 points and a 4-1 victory. How flipping good does it feel to keep that momentum rolling? Chelsea are competing on 3 fronts. It's the middle of April and we have got 3 things still to get excited about. The Premier League top 4, FA Cup semi, Champions League quarter-final, that we are 1 foot into a semi. The momentum that we will gain from this performance and from this victory. And I think the key thing is players that weren't scoring or haven't been scoring that have come up with goals today and assists. Kovacic, who keeps growing in confidence game by game. Same with Mason Mount. Same with Jorginho. This is a big win for us, I'm telling you. And I think that when we look forward to that game against Porto, they'll see what we've done here tonight and they're going to be scared to go into that second leg knowing they've got to fight for it. And if Chelsea play like that, if we can counter Porto, if they come out to attack and we attack like we did tonight, we are going to be laughing, boys and girls. Kai Havertz was excellent. Mason was excellent. Kova was superb. And Christian Pulisic gets himself a blue box. What a day to be a Chelsea fan. What a week it has been. As I said at the beginning, subscribe to GBFC if you're new. Go and check out GBFC 2, link down below as well. Posted a video there earlier today. And if you want to see my live reactions on the watch along, then I will pin the comment that shows the timestamps. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Massive win. Come on, you Blues.